video is nothing new for the New York Times. We've had a video unit for more than a decade. We've won all sorts of top awards, and we have a great crew of video journalists. What's different now is I think people in the newsroom and outside the newsroom are paying more attention to video as a journalistic tool. And so what we're doing in our video unit is becoming more relevant in the world of journalism and the world of the New York Times. So more people are putting more money into it, more talent, more resources, more effort, and we're trying to move it to more the forefront of what we do. And I think that's because of where the industry is going. I think it's not just us, but a lot of news organizations, as you know, are more and more investing in video, and that's the way more and more people are getting their information and their news, and that's what advertisers seem to want. I think what we're seeing is we try to do a range of things. We do the long form, we do news programming, we do middle range pieces. We have a whole range of things, and we've been experimenting, particularly in recent years, more with live covering news events and live commentary and analysis and quick turnaround news-related coverage. And I think that's what we've been experimenting the most with, and that's the trickiest, because we are primarily a news organization and we want to play off that, but we don't want to do anything that's sort of easy or obvious or too standard. We want our video to be of the same quality and consistency as our news report on all our platforms. So I think what we're trying to do is kind of feel our way a little bit about what makes most sense for the New York Times video presence. And I think the thing we know is our longer form documentary, short documentary, longer form documentary. We know that we know how to do that. We're great at storytelling. So we're developing that further, but I think what you're going to see more of that we're playing around with is a more focused news video. I think you're going to see more focused news video programming, and I'm not sure yet what form that will take, but I think you're going to see even more use of New York Times talent, of taking even better advantage of our journalists in the newsroom and around the world, and using them for video that you can't get anywhere else. The key for us is added value video content that you would go to the New York Times for that you can't get anywhere else. And I think that's what our goal is. Our goal, just like our news stories and our feature stories, our goal is memorable journalism. And we want memorable video journalism. And I hope we have it. We've had it for years, but we want even more of it. The placement of video is critical. And that's one of our major issues. Most people that read our website do not know we have video. You know we have video. I hope most of your audience does. But believe it or not, even though we play it up, or we think we do, people don't think of the New York Times website for video, even though we've been doing it for years and we have great video. So one of our big goals is to rethink, which we're doing now, placement of video on the website, accessibility, and I think you'll see changes on all those fronts, because we think, and I deeply believe, that once people see this really top-notch video, they'll come back for more. We're seeing video become more and more front and center in what we do at the New York Times. It used to be, when I was a reporter, first of all, we didn't have video, and finally when we did, you know, who would want a video camera in during your interview? Because we would get nervous that it would make the interviewee nervous and ruin the whole thing. Now it's become more second nature that, and we're trying to encourage people, when you have a big interview or a small interview or something, think video. Think about bringing the camera into the room, as long as it's not too disruptive. So we're trying to train people and change the culture here to be more video focused. And I think we're making progress. We still have a ways to go, but we're making progress. So I think when reporters think video, I think that enables us to use them more, whether on camera or helping us think through stories. It may be that a reporter is writing a story and has someone that's really quotable and colorful on video, but not in a text form. So we might say that the person might say, well, I'm not going to put that person in my text story, but I'll call the video people and we'll interview them on camera. So I think we're trying to be more creative about leveraging our journalists and their sources to help us be creative and innovative in our video. I think there's a huge opportunity. I mean, I come from a more traditional newspaper, New York Times background, but what I've found in my short time focused solely on video is that it's sort of the obvious. Storytelling is storytelling, and you want added value, great content, you want provocative, enticing pieces that pull you in and that keep your attention. You don't want flabby stories, you want them written tight and compelling, in a compelling way with great visuals. And that's what we do on our website, that's what we do in print, and that's what we're doing in video, or that's what we aspire to do even more of in video. What we're trying to do is make video central to what we do at the New York Times. So it's as central as text on our website, as the printed newspaper. So when people think New York Times, they're not just thinking reading a story, they're thinking of watching something. And the journalism, our journalistic goals and are just as high, and our standards are just as high as they are on any other platform for the New York Times.